Peace and Black Power family. It's your Harlem educator, author, and activist, the Black Liberation Coach for the IJ Time Family live on location in that wonderful historical and political village of Harlem, New York. Thank you for joining, family, whether you're watching live, whether you join us on the later recorded version. We're certainly very appreciative. You could be doing anything at this time, and the fact that you're spending time with your brother is most appreciated. However, do remember that it will be recorded, and you can always check this out at your convenience. Please spread the word. The fact that YouTube has terminated my channel, family, is of some concern, but I've appealed their decision because someone hacked into my Gmail account and also into my YouTube account and probably posted something that was, egregious, that violated their standards. And I'm being persecuted for something I didn't do. But whether or not they reinstate that channel or not, family, we're going to move ahead because we believe we have life-sustaining, nation-building information, political education, Africana studies that we're bringing right to the people. And we believe that because we have righteous intent, we give our best, that we will be successful. Now, before we begin, our guest for today, Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, should be in the studio in about 4 minutes. But before this time, I do want to show a quick commercial just to make sure, family, that everyone knows about our upcoming events.
We're going to talk about the liberation struggle today. We're gonna talk about some crazy crackers had bum rush Capitol Hill, and white supremacists and racist wars came, and they say war is coming on January 20th. And we got to talk about all of this from the perspective of our Black Power General, Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
As a NYCHA resident, let's be clear. NYCHA is participating in the ethnic cleansing of its developments by conspiring with law enforcement agencies to push Black and brown families out.
Trash man didn't get my trash today. Oh, why? Because they want more pay. That's what makes the world go round. The up and down the carousel. Changing people, they'll go round. Go underground, young men. People make the world go round.
Yes, peace and Black Power family. Wukusu, free the land. I am so happy to be breathing, to be alive, to kick it with my people. There is nothing to me that is more encouraging and rewarding than doing the work you feel that you were put on this earth to do. And I am privileged and blessed enough to be, I've been doing that since I was a teenager, family. Waking our people up, educating the people, organizing our people. That's what I was put here to do. And so whether I make $20 million, $20 or 20 cents, family, I am blessed to be doing the work I was put here to do. And I only hope that you all have that sort of privilege that I have. There's nothing like it, family. It's like, it's not even work to me. No matter what time, how early I get up, how late I go to sleep, how much research, writing, and all this I do, Family, this is what I'm here to do, and it's a beautiful thing. To be able to serve my beautiful black people, family. It's a beautiful thing. Uh, I see that we have some comments. We got the Queen is saying Wakusu to the family. She's saying Ashe. Glad to see the Queen in the building. I should say that today is a special day for the Queen. Little homie Brianna Reed, we want to give a shout out. Happy birthday, 16th birthday to Brianna Reed. Happy birthday to the baby girl in the building. Hope you have a beautiful day. Of course, we're all going to be celebrating, and so we would definitely look forward to that. Now, family, the brother that we're going to be bringing on today, I hate to sound cliche, but he really does need no real introduction. And we're going to be talking about Black nationalism, hope for the 21st century, or dead doctrine. And the brother that will really be leading this discussion is the warrior lawyer, the attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. He also has the distinction of being now he's a new author. Very recently, he authored his new book, The Book of Khalid, which chronicles the life of the late Black Power General, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, for generally the time that he was in the Nation of Islam until the time that he was kind of, you might say, demoted from his position and he moved on to the new Black Panther Party. A very well-written book, well-documented. You need to check that out. www.bookofkhalid.com. You need to check that out. You need to cop that book. You need to read that book, and you need to build on the lessons in the book. This brother was a student activist. We're going to go back, family. We're talking 30 maybe years ago. The brother is not new to the game. He's true to the game. Maybe 30 years ago, as a Howard University undergrad, he was a student activist, tearing that campus up, bringing in all types of revolutionaries and doing that community organizing work. He also graduated from Howard University's law school, and he's co-founder of, I believe, Black Lawyers for Justice. He's doing amazing work. He was there in Ferguson. He's doing, like, you hear about Benjamin Crump and some of these cats, the more commercial, but this brother's right there on the ground doing that work too. And so what we want to give the brother his due now. He also was a close confidant, a protege, a brother that we might say was groomed by the late, great Black Power General, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. He walked with him. He defended him. He was there with Brother Khalid every step of the way once Brother Khalid moved into the new Black Panther era of his journey. But even before that, when the brother was a Howard University student, he was rolling with Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. The brother walks with revolution and Black grassroots community organizing. He got the scars to prove it. He got the bars to prove it. Brothers and sisters, we are talking about none other than our brother, Malik Zulu Shabazz. We're going to bring him on in a minute. Just want to see how our brother is doing. My brother, peace.
My honor, brother Ahimba and the Harlem Liberation School. My honor to be on again. My honor.
All right, brother. It's our honor to actually have you. We'd like to thank you for giving us some of your time. We know that you're real busy. We know you got the book launch going on, man, and you got your lawyer practice going on. You got a lot going on, and we appreciate your time, man. How are you feeling today, good brother?
Thank you for asking me. I'm feeling, I feel good today. Although I just came from a funeral. A close friend of mine's wife passed from COVID. And so here in Washington, D.C., we've had our struggles with the COVID virus. But despite that, I feel good. I feel upbeat about the possibilities for our movement and our struggle in the year 2021.
That's what's up, good brother. Now, we're going to be covering a lot. We got about a good 60 minutes with our brother family, and hopefully we'll squeeze in a Q&A session before that is over. We're talking about Black nationalism, hope for the 21st century, or dead doctrine. Now, Brother Shabazz, for those who don't know, could you define for them what Black nationalism is?
Yes. Black nationalism has been very narrowly defined up to this point, but it's a very big doctrine. Malcolm X says that control of the politics in the Black community, that's Black nationalism. He says control of the economy by Black people in the Black community, that's Black nationalism. I'm paraphrasing. Control of the education in the Black community, Black nationalism. Inside of the word nationalism, you have the word nation. And so Black nationalism is supposed to be our ultimate movement, effort, and drive towards a nation of our own. The nationalism is supposed to lead to a nation of our own. It is said that Blacks in America are a nation within a nation. And so inside of that nation within a nation already, that we should control the politics, the economics, the culture, to borrow a phrase from Professor James Smalls. Black power, which is another expression of Black nationalism, says that is measured by defining, developing, and defending that which is in the interest of the Black community. That's a form of Black nationalism. Defining, developing, and defending that which is in the best interest of the Black community. Black nationalism is given to us again by the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey and the red, black, and green flag. And inside of the flag, it talks about the red, the struggle for our independence through bloodshed, black meaning Black for the people, and green meaning wealth land. The wealth acquired through land, and the green also meaning the future. Black nationalism, my brother, is self-determination. Black nationalism is freedom, justice, and equality. Black nationalism is really the ultimate of what we want, as long as it's connected to a worldwide Pan-Africanism. Khalid Muhammad, before he passed, before Khalid Muhammad, let's back it up to Kwame Ture. He gives us Black power, which is the expression of Black nationalism. And then his followers in the All African People's Revolutionary Party say that the ultimate expression of Black nationalism is Pan-Africanism. So to conclude, Black nationalism is Black power. Khalid Abdul Muhammad told us at some key point, he said that our ideology is revolutionary Pan-African nationalism. So to conclude, we want power for Black people in America, and that power is tied to having power for Black people in the Caribbean and all over the earth. And we must have self-determination and as much control and as much Black power as we can inside of the cities and counties of America, while at the same time building for worldwide Black power. And that to me is a short statement on Black nationalism. And it's a doctrine I like. It's what I live my life for, is what everybody who's wearing the red, black, and green says they want. And I'm happy to ask, is what I'm talking about is it relegated to the 60s? Is it something that we just talked about in the 80s and 90s? Have we blew our opportunity for Black nationalism, and do we just need to go ahead and throw in the towel and join Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and call it quits? Gotta ask these questions.
Got me laughing up in here at that, Brother Shabazz. Now let me ask you. Some people think that Black nationalism started in the 1960s, kind of like the evil twin of the civil rights movement, or the militant response to the civil rights movement. Could you educate the community on this question? Is Black nationalism this new phenomenon that starts in the 1960s?
Absolutely not. Martin Delaney and Edward Blyden, and those in the 1800s, some of those who helped establish Liberia and who were deeply affected by antebellum slavery and just the general wholesale maltreatment of our people, they began to cry for Black nationalism well before the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and the cry for immigration back to Africa and separation back to Africa and other Black nationalist themes. So we have Martin Delany, we have Edward Blyden, and then those are major forerunners. And then we have the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who internationally popularized Black nationalism, and in the mode of kind of like a Moses to the Black nationalist movement, he put it on the map everywhere. And today he's honored as the major figure of Black nationalism, but he is a part of a process. You know, now we get to the 60s. Hold on, just to jump to the 60s for a moment. What you do is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, upon the transition or the expulsion of Mr. Garvey from America, Honorable Elijah Muhammad picks up the Black nationalist banner in the form of the Nation of Islam, which preaches a basic Islamic Black nationalism. And then you have Noble Drew Ali, who the Moors say that they are not Black, but Noble Drew Ali's movement is in the vein of nationalistic movements. Now, we give credit to Dr. King because by sparking the civil rights movement in the mid-1950s, what the civil rights movement does is it does help give a jump start to its cousin or its alternative movement, alternative doctrine, the Black nationalist movement. So as Dr. King takes forth and the civil rights movement breaks out, you also now see the rise of the Black Muslims, Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. And then through Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X early in the 1960s, we see this doctrine of Black nationalism popularized, and it's carried in the early 60s by the Nation of Islam. Upon the assassination of Brother Minister Malcolm X, who became the major figure for Black nationalism coming out of the Nation of Islam, he becomes the major Black nationalist, Pan-African figure from around the world. He becomes the martyr of the movement. When he's assassinated, he becomes the martyr. Well, and then he has heirs who carry on the movement. In brief, Malcolm X's heirs are Kwame Ture. Stokely Carmichael is a direct heir. Many called him the successor to Malcolm X. And in the mid to late 60s, he was the #1 Black activist and figure for Black power and Black militancy. But he wasn't alone. Dr. Maulana Karinga and the US organization and his Kawaida theories and his doctrine, well, he's another student and product of Minister Malcolm X. Huey P. Newton and the Black Panther Party from the 1966, they are other students and products of Black nationalist Malcolm X. And before I cap this one point, I would say that when you call Black nationalism, the original Black Panther Party, October 15th, 1966, was Black nationalist. Although we watched the movie Fred Hampton, we see Fred Hampton here. He said he's anti-capitalist. He's for a rainbow coalition, a multi-racial Marxist or socialist alliance. History records that October 15th, 1966, the original Black Panther Party was Black nationalists, just like we are. And they advocated for what? Black unity, political action, and self-defense. And they were crying out the Black power cry also. Okay, later they went on to Marxism and other forms of revolutionary doctrine, but they were not nationalists. I'm just trying to give you the history of these figures and this struggle. So then it comes down now. So Kwame, he goes Marxist, not really Marxist, I would say African socialist, All African People's Revolutionary Party. The Panther Party goes Marxist, really could say Black Marxism. And Minister Louis Farrakhan in the after the fall of Elijah Muhammad, so Elijah Muhammad 75, he has this form of Black nationalism, the Nation of Islam, many things we're going to talk about today: farms, schools, factories, land. He wasn't as coveted in the press as all of the figures I named, but yet he delivers a solid form of Black nationalism until 1975. Wallace Muhammad destroys the Black Nationalism of the Nation of Islam, and then Minister Louis Farrakhan in the late 70s, and Khalid Muhammad in the early 80s through 1990 held up Black nationalism in the form of the resurrected Nation of Islam. Then you have Minister Louis Farrakhan moving away from the nationalism and move towards humanitarianism and non-Black nationalism, but Khalid Muhammad holding the line on Black nationalism and Black power. And then he emerges with his Million Youth March in Harlem, New York, and after his ouster from the Nation of Islam, he becomes the man that holds Black power up in the late 90s till he passes in 2001. Okay, I have my part to play in it, maintaining the new Black Panther Party, running the new Black Panther Party all over the country, and holding up much of this movement from 2001 through 2013 till Hashim Nzinga got it. Okay, now just brief in that period of time in this history, many of the groups that you see out here today in the red, black, and green, or militant groups or around the country, my brothers and sisters, I love them very much, but they really didn't exist like that. We were more united. So there were some splits, but I'm just saying I helped to hold the red, black, and green up in my years, and many others who probably watch it. December 12th movement, for example, Legends in New York, Black nationalist-based organization, although Marxist also, but they held up the line of the red, black, and green for many years. So bottom line to it is we've had great leaders and servants and helpers that have helped to hold us up, yours included. You part of it too. I think right now what it is, my brother, as I say, is that we have a lot of people who believe in Black nationalism, a lot of people who are tied to these various legacies. And I think it has great potential in 2021, but we have to execute. If we don't execute, it's nothing more than a theoretical discussion.
True indeed, brother. And for those who were listening, Brother Shabazz gave really a wonderful and succinct chunk of history right there. I really hope you were listening to that. Really a good, succinct kind of a chronicle of Black nationalism, and reminding us that it is not a new kid on the block. Nationalism predates integrationism, actually, if you go all the way back in history. So I really appreciate that history you dropped, brother.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Now, spokespeople or advocates of Black nationalism throughout our history, they've been, on one hand, very controversial and hated, and then on the other hand, very much embraced and loved by segments of our community. My question is, why do you think wide segments of our community resonate with Black nationalism? What does Black nationalism hold? What does it argue or articulate that attracts so many Black people?
Well, first, part of Black nationalism is loving yourself as a Black person. This is what is the great base of the Black nationalist and Black power movement. It is the embrace of Black culture. It is the acknowledgement of who we are, as opposed to what white America and Western colonialism has said and degraded us to be. Okay, so this is why the red, black, and green gets good traction, my dear brother, is because we come forth saying that Black is beautiful, that we should love Black, respect Black, honor Black, Black is original, Africa is good. And so it comes with a healthy dose of what the Nation of Islam calls a knowledge of self, or what we call education and pride and value about who we are and what our struggle is about, and that it's good to be Black, the Blacker the better. So that, and then it comes with other good principles, Black nationalism and Black power. It comes with this talk of Black unity at the very base. There is no Black nationalism without Black unity. There's no Black power without Black unity. So we talk about Black unity, that resonates. Why? Because there's a lot of division in our community. There's division when there's shooting and or killing or a lot of dissension in the community or in the household. So the themes of Black unity and just loving and honoring each other merely because we are the original Black people. And that we are the children of slaves. That's probably the good base that you can probably get any Black person to agree with, the basics of Black unity and Black love. And that's one reason why Malcolm X is a mainstream figure. As radical as the whole doctrine of Malcolm X is when really studied, which would probably not be embraced by many mainstream Blacks, the basics of what Malcolm X represents is loved by a wide mainstream. And that's good for us. That's good for our movement right now. Hold on, I'm not hearing you. I need to hear you.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I got you. Yes, sir, I can.
All right. Thank you for that answer, good brother. And we know that you are a protege and a confidant of Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad as an undergraduate student and as a law school student at Howard University. So you're in a very unique position to talk about, be impacted by Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad. So on a more personal note now, how would you say that walking with Brother Khalid, listening to Brother Khalid, seeing what he was going through and going through it with him, how did his teachings and his example affect your life and work?
Because I had a mentor. And because I had a mentor, I'm here today. I wouldn't be here in the way I'm here doing what I'm doing if I had not been mentored by Khalid Muhammad, as well as mentored by the experience of struggle with Khalid Muhammad. When I say mentored by the experience of struggle, I mean, just for one example, which is written in the book of Khalid in the 19th chapter, the Million Youth March. Okay, so I served as Khalid Muhammad's National Youth Director. In the process of serving as his National Youth Director, I learned the following lessons as a young man that have shaped me for today. What did I learn? I learned about grassroots organizing and coalition building from a master who knew how to talk to a whole host and variety of Black people and to be able to gather them under his Black nationalist mission, Khalid Muhammad. So I learned his skills, his tactics, his way of recruiting and rolling, okay? So that helps me greatly right to this very second. I go further, I learned how to deal with opposition. When you serve Khalid Muhammad, either in the Million Youth March or any other point that you read about in my book or in life, or anybody that's here that's ever helped Khalid Muhammad, that you are going to come under opposition, attack, criticism, told not to be around him by Blacks and whites. Okay, so what do I learn here, my brother? I learned that I'm gonna have to first face some opposition from my own people to continue to support this man, and that's continuing to do it today. When I get opposition from my own people, I'm also used to it because I'm with Khalid Muhammad, and he faced a huge amount of opposition from Blacks in the movement and out. So undergoing these stressors of being opposed by Blacks, undergoing the stressors of even just being mentored by Khalid Muhammad, which can sometimes be like a hammer on my head. It's a lot of pressure supporting a kind of man like this. And then when everybody else is running away, you got to do the more and more and more and more. But what does it do? It makes you tougher. So again, struggling against the negatives with Khalid Muhammad made me tough today, where I'm resilient. I can take a lot and go through a lot, and I'm steeled to a certain degree. Okay, let me try to move faster. Khalid Muhammad facing opposition from white society, like in that Million Youth March. We were opposed by the mayor of New York City, And so I learned how, number one, the calculations of negotiating with the white man when we were negotiating with the lawyers of the city of New York for the march, and that helped me out here on the legal and political battlefield for what I face today. Then we had the showdown in court against Rudy Giuliani in the city of New York. And so by going through the legal battles with the city of New York as an organizer and an attorney and being steeled by that, also after the Million Youth March, being the criminal lawyer for one of those arrested at the Million Youth March, Khalid Muhammad gave me a valuable legal experience on the political battlefield, helping to fight, secure permits, free political prisoners, and that. So I got some direct frontline legal experience in the movement working with Khalid Muhammad. So, brother, I could go on and on. Everything in the book of Khalid relates to my development as a person. And I say to everyone else, if you don't have a Black nationalist mentors like Brother AJ Tahimba, if you don't have one like him, and find one. I'm doing the best I can these days to give to other young brothers what Khalid Muhammad gave to me. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. What he gave to me and the attention he paid to me and the chance. Khalid Muhammad is known for giving a chance to brothers that everybody rejected and nobody wanted. Now I'm trying to do the same thing like him, man. I'm really trying to do the best I can with what I have to carry on what I learned from him. And also I have other things, my brother, that I didn't necessarily learn from him, but I can add to what I learned from him to help us in 2021.
Man, appreciate that, brother. Particularly how you talked about the mentorship or the jegniship for those watching, particularly those of you who are more in the millennial stages of your development. Very important to latch on, to seek out, and to find an older, more seasoned brother or sister that can help guide you, right? Don't resist learning. You have to be coachable. You have to be coachable. If you want to lead, you got to follow first. You want to coach, you have to be coached. So I really appreciate what the brother said there. I want to give a quick shout out to my little homie, Brianna Reed, turned 16 today, 16-year-old princess, future queen. Shout out to the sister. We're going to celebrate after this show. We're going to start celebrating. All right. Now, we're going to now get to the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty, where everyone has come to this broadcast to hear. The question, Brother Shabazz, in your opinion, and I think you are very well qualified to answer this, does Black nationalism provide answers and remedies for our people in the 21st century, man, or is it a dead and irrelevant philosophy? How would you answer that?
Black nationalism has all the answers right now. It has all the answers. It is far from dead. It only dies if we let it die. But it is the truth and it is the answer, because to say that it's not the answer would say that Marcus Garvey was wrong, Elijah Muhammad was wrong, Malcolm was wrong, Farrakhan at his best was wrong, Amos Wilson was wrong, Charles Barron is wrong. Okay, so it provides the answers. Now, what answers does it provide? Right immediately, it provides economic answers. And we can take a cue from Mr. Marcus Mosiah Garvey and Mr. Elijah Muhammad on those points. It provides the immediate answers. What answers? I'm sitting here right here in Northeast Washington, D.C. Yeah, I'm sitting right here in Northeast. Let me just point you out here for a second. I'm doing this for a reason. Okay, now that's Washington, D.C. I'm in Northeast. Everywhere around here, my dear brother, condominiums and developments are going up in the Black community. And it's not Black people at all that are even getting a scintilla of the development that is actually going on in the community and displacing them in the community. But two things could be done here with Black nationalism right in Washington, D.C. to turn the economic situation around in terms of gentrification. But before gentrification, let's just talk about all the stores that I'm looking at around and behind me, okay? So Black nationalism and Black power teaches us that we must own and control the stores and the businesses in our community. There's a 7-Eleven behind me. It is ran by a Black brother of mine, but he's my Ethiopian brother. He's my brother, but all here, my friend, in this community and others, it's our African Black brothers who have supplanted the Koreans in our community. And make no mistake about it, they are our brothers. But what's off balance is that the Blacks in America are still on the basic, most fundamental level of the stores, the laundromat I'm looking at over here, the convenience store I'm looking at here, are not owning or controlling this source of millions and millions of dollars of revenue that's coming in the local communities. Whereas Black nationalism, one way or another, if that doctrine was practiced, every damn store in this community would be owned and controlled by our people. The CVS and the Safeway and the market at the corner, although it is ultimately owned by some white corporation somewhere, we would be getting much more out of it than just jobs and some franchises. If Black nationalism was really in effect, it wouldn't even be a CVS or a Giant. We would have our own supermarkets, but that's on a higher level. Black nationalism, brother, we wouldn't even be getting pushed out of this city right now, because we would have some Black political power that would be opposed to integration. You see, in integration in Washington, D.C., we were taught that the integration was the way, civil rights was the way, and we have even been taught here, the brothers and sisters here in the city have been taught that the white people are our friends. The white leftists are our friends. That same white leftist hippie that's moving down the block, moving up the block, and damn near taking over the damn city. Okay, so here's Black nationalism. Now, here's another problem. So politically, that the inability to fight gentrification from a Black nationalist or a radical perspective has allowed an integrationist civil rights philosophy to integrate our communities, integrate our neighborhoods. We say, well, I don't hate anybody. I'm not against white people, and I don't mind. I don't want to live. I don't want to be separate. Okay, and you have all those soft philosophies, and in Ladera, not Ladera, it's South Central California, near Ladera, South Central California, Los Angeles, and every other urban neighborhood, white people are just outright taking over because as in Africa, we want to greet every trader and greet them warmly instead of opposing them and make them not even want to live in our neighborhood. Okay, so now here's another point I want to jab at. It's called the development here. And I want to say something about collective Black nationalism and individual Black nationalism. Now, what's happening in this city, my brother, is that there are many real estate deals going on. And sometimes it is true that real estate and properties and all that must be advanced in the city. But our people should be getting the money, and they should be contracting the deals here. But they're not, and individually, my brother, yeah, I could, but I'm not going to sit here and specifically point out my real estate accomplishments in this city. And I'm not going to go into the deals that I'm about to get into in this city. But I feel bad, brother, that I'm like a minority as a Black man that is involved in the real estate market here in Washington, D.C. I feel bad that only as an individual, I can come on here and say as an individual or company or with my Black business partners that I'm going to be developing these parcels of land and it's going to triple in value, and that I'm going to get my part out of it as an individual. That's individual Black nationalism. That could work if it was a lot of individuals doing it, if it was a real estate movement everywhere and brothers and sisters was doing it. But unfortunately, it's rare. It's rare. And so You know, brother, the clock is ticking. I mean, I would say that it offers hope, but the clock is ticking. I mean, if we don't practice Black nationalism and get control of the economy and the cities and the real estate for more individuals, and preferably as a collective, you know, and develop collective models in these cities for profiting off real estate development, then time may run out. Time may run out. I will say that we have some time to put into place Black power and Black nationalism, but not much time, because we wasted time. It is the only solution, especially economically, especially to stop the violence and create unity. It is the remedy, but it's got to be enacted, because if it's not enacted in many areas, we're going to be wiped out, and we're going to have to fight this from the scattered suburbs. You won't be fighting Black nationalism in Harlem or Washington, D.C. We're gonna be fighting it from different territorial zones, and I don't think that's right after we've struggled in these cities all these years.
That is definitely agreed. That is agreed right there.
A cup of coffee.
Now, what types of issues do you think Dr. Khalid Muhammad would address if he were alive today? What things do you think would really have him, we got to move on this or that?
That's a great question. Khalid Muhammad, while not so much an economic practitioner, Khalid Muhammad represents our fight and our resistance in the struggle. So the Khalid Abdul Muhammad I know, if he were here today, he would do what his student is doing based on his inspiration. He would seek, since Brother Hashim Nzinga has passed, I have basically become the national organizer of the new Black Panther Party. The new Black Panther Party will elect a chairperson in the future, but I have control of the new Black Panther Party under Khalid Muhammad's legacy. So what I do with it right now, since Hashim Nzinga passed, what I do is I don't let it die and dissipate so we have another disappointment. What would Khalid Muhammad do? He would rebuild it as strong as possible. So I'm mentoring our chief of staff, a young educator and strong Black woman named Dr. Shamanda Owens. I'm mentoring her to be a very strong leader in this struggle. I'm mentoring the National Minister of Defense, Captain Daryl Hawkins here, and I'm going to help him become one of the best trainers and defenders of our people and organizers of Black men and fighters against police brutality that we've ever had. I'm mentoring him. I'm even mentoring my elder, who may be the future chairman, may be, of the new Black Panther Party, Imam Akbar. I'm training these Panthers all over the United States of America. I'm training them, and I'm also doing what Khalid Abdul Muhammad would do, is building an African or Black United Front. There's a group down here in Texas, the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. There's Baba Omawale, Brother Darren. He was also in the time of my leadership of the new Black Panther Party. He has exhibited extremely strong and profound and progressive training tactics for the Black nationalist movement. That's why my relationship with him is developing very strongly in this hour, because we have to have unity amongst organizations, not just general unity, my brother, a functional unity where you don't just say it's Malik Shabazz and his crew over here and the Huey P. Newton group over there and another group over there, because we're going to be like in the 60s, everybody holding on to territory. So like Shaka Zulu, my brother, I've established and relations with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club and the new Black Panther Party, and very strong. I've established relations. This is what Khalid Muhammad would do. He would get right with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club and get that alliance going strong with that new Black Panther Party. I'm working with the Geronimo Pratt Gun Club out of Texas. And along with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, the new Black Panther Party, and rest of the Black Power movement, we're all going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma on May the 28th, 29th, and 30th all the Black self-defense groups, all the Black power groups are going to be in Tulsa for the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa riots and the Tulsa massacre. And Brother Nick Bezel and of the Geronimo Pratt Gun Club, I seek him because my mentor would have sought him. And the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, there's going to be a massive display of self-defense and a massive message that what happened in Tulsa 100 years ago will never happen again, and that no crackers will burn and drive us out without hundreds of thousands of crackers dying in self-defense everywhere. That's going to happen at Memorial Day weekend, as well as a Black Power and Black Power type convention. We're going to get our act together in this year. What Khalid Muhammad would be doing was trying to solve the problem. So the things that I may talk about for the remainder of your show is what we're doing in his name to solve the problem. You know, a lot of people are reading the book. They like the book. They get becoming aware of the ideology of Black power, Black nationalism. They even become maybe more aware of myself, more trusting of me. Since you don't have to hear about rumors, now you got actual fact. So now what I'm doing, my brother, is capitalizing on whatever I've done and put out here with the book, put it right back into the movement. I'm teaming up with the Geronimo Pratt Gun Club. I'm teaming up with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. I'm teaming up with the Black Rioters, under Taco Wolverine Shakur, Fred Hampton Gun Club, and all the other Black self-defense groups, and making the new Black Panther Party a maximum effective group in terms of self-defense. And then I'll be doing the work of Khalid Muhammad by helping to build a united defense force against police brutality, a united defense force to train and raise Black men, a united force that's under arms with weapons training. That helps us, because part of Black nationalism and Black power, define, develop, defend, we're short on defense. It's going to be a big year for defense. And so that's good news also. It's good news, my brother, because in the 90s, you know, when the Nation of Islam teaching was dominant, you had to make an argument just to have a gun. The teaching was, we don't need weapons, we don't need guns. But now everything has changed. It comes from Khalid Muhammad in Jasper, Texas. Now it's all over America. I come behind my mentor, and I, like a diplomat, a Black nationalist diplomat, I'm going to be on the road all year in city after city, town after town, campaigning to build this Black united front, but not only amongst defense groups, amongst all Black nationalist groups that are fighting for Black power on all levels. So you know, we can complete college work in this day and time.
Okay, now, being a little more critical at this point, are there any areas in our life as Africans, New Africans, Black folk, where you think Black nationalism is deficient, where it needs to mature, where it's not being expressed as it should?
Yes, of course. Black nationalists, I work with this inside of the Panther Party all the time. It's not enough to just go and holler Black power and to think that you are actually establishing Black power. It is not enough just to holler Black power and throw your fist in the air. If you are on Facebook or you're on the internet and you have put on your Black military boots and fatigues, and you got your red, black, and green patch, and you RBG down, RBG flag, and all of that, and you look good and you representing the culture, well, that's a step, but that is no way near fulfilling what we need to do as organizing. We have to organize the Black community. You see, Black power and Black nationalism is not the latest cult or fad or gang or clique. It's not something you take because you need to redefine yourself. You take on a oath to organize the entire Black community. So my internal criticism inside of the Panther Party is we can't walk by the people. We have to come to the people. You can't be happy. See, sometimes we get happy. It'd be 10 Black Nationalists or Black Panthers, and we so hardcore Black power, we don't need no, it's 10, maybe 60,000, 800,000 in the city. You get happy because you have 10. You won't talk to the people, talk to nobody, just as long as you and your squad look awesome. And there it is. That's what I call small Black nationalism. Pockets of 10 and 15 and 20 is small Black nationalism. A mature Black nationalism, see, Malcolm X gives us a sign. Khalid Muhammad gives us a sign. Of course, Kwame gives us a sign in different ways of a mature Black nationalism. Malik Zulu Shabazz is trying to give a more mature Black nationalism. And this mature Black nationalism, let me give you a couple of examples. It would take the Black self-defense movement and it would connect it to the Black political movement for Black power and make the Black self-defense or militia movement much more effective by tying these defense and militia forces to the political movement, which is fighting for reparations, fighting to clean up the airwaves, fighting against police brutality, fighting sometimes the court system, the city council, fighting battles in these cities. And so we can't be narrow. The criticism would be that the Black nationalism would be too narrow or too immature for a broad base of working class Black people to embrace. But that working class Black man I know would embrace Malcolm X, and they would embrace Khalid Muhammad, and to an extent they would embrace Khalid Muhammad, Kwame, and Malik Shabazz. That can happen. That can happen. We have to relate to working class people. I'm going to even say on a certain level, if you can, you have to relate to even middle class people with this doctrine. This thing has to spread one way or another, brother. We can't have a small Black nationalism. I tell in the new Black Panther Party, it's a new Black Panther Party. If the white man has the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, this has to be a party. You can't limit this to just you and your friends or you and your cult. You have to be able to take this and knock on the door to my mama and my aunt and get them to turn over some nephews and cousins to you. And if they're not going to join you, at least they're going to be willing to sign up, watch your webcast, give a donation, and play some role in the movement. So my brother, it's a lot that Black nationalism has to mature on. There's a lot of growing up that Black power has to do. That's your job. I check you out. Leadership coaching, and I'm checking your classes out, and I'm going back and studying them. The job of what's called like a OGs, like yourself and myself in this era, is all of these promising young brothers and sisters in their 20s and 30s. Let's help them not waste their time. Let's help put all that energy into some real measurable results so we can mature the nationalism. We can grow it up. We can do it. So I'll give you some examples on how a couple of examples. My national unity tour this year is designed to expand Black power and Black nationalism in the country. It's designed to unify many of these fragmented groups. Okay, so for example, when I go to Atlanta, this is a typical tour series for me. On April 15th, I do a book signing for Khalid Muhammad in Atlanta. Okay, this brings out many of Khalid's supporters, and that automatically gives me a base to organize in that city, in that region. While I'm pushing the word of Khalid Muhammad, which is converting more people to Black power, I'm also convening a united front of leadership of Black nationalist leaders in Atlanta from the Southeast region, okay? Then as part of that same meeting, I'm not just in the room and with the books behind closed doors, I'm out in the field. like these other brothers and sisters. I'm out in the field in Atlanta not with the new Black Panther Party, with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, but also with many other sisters and brothers in the movement in Atlanta. And I'm going to be doing what in Atlanta? Having massive community walks, massive community recruitments. And while I'm out there, I'm doing what as an attorney, as a lawyer? I'm doing my legal training. I'm pushing these legal brochures and educating brothers and sisters on the law and training the Panthers and the organizers how to take my legal brochures and the legal training I'm giving them and to train the community. While we're out walking and while I'm out walking in by the hundreds, in some cases by the thousands, we're going to do this in Atlanta, Tallahassee, Tampa, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Vegas, all over the country. I'm going to be doing this all year. We're going house to house, door to door, and in floor to floor. And I'm training the new Black Panther Party and the members of the Black Power movement how to campaign in the Black community, how to recruit in the Black community, how to build a movement in the Black community. So we give practice, Brother AJ, to the theories and the doctrine we express. We give practice to it by doing it. And so my scheduling is an example of how region by region, city by city, through the momentum of the book of Khaled, through some skills that I have as an attorney, which are unique, which people want, then I get the Panthers and the other members of the movement, and we go out in the communities and recruit and build this thing further. And then I do like Khalid Muhammad do. I go from Atlanta to Tallahassee to Jacksonville to Tampa to St. Petersburg, and I'm going to be in 50 cities in the United States. And I plan on being there, not just to be heard and be seen, brother. I got to come back with results. Like, I need to share with you exactly what I'm saying in more details. And I need your advice, because when I go out there, I'm not just going out here on behalf of Malik Zulu Shabazz. I'm going out here on behalf of every other Black nationalist, you know. And I want to let everybody know before I turn it back over, see, I'm just a part of a process of the community. My ear is open. My door is open. I believe I know enough, but I don't know it all. So if you see something that I could help you with, if you see something that I should pay attention to, that's why I'm here in relationship with you, because you can pull my coat. You can point me in the right direction. And so to that extent, diplomacy is critical for Black nationalism. Humility is critical for Black nationalism. Being able to listen and to be able to take advice and to be able to work with others is key for me. That's key for me, because I got a lot to do. I got many legal battles. I got court cases. I'm expected, now that the book is done, to be fighting these police cases. And you believe me, I will. It won't be all Ben Crump. I appreciate what he's doing. I got many police cases to fight. I had tied down on the book. So because I have a lot to do, it's critical that I have constructive, concise, productive relations with others for me to be effective. And that's one reason why I'm enjoying my relationship with you.
Hey, brother, I can say that sentiment is ditto for me. In fact, I really hope that in the near future we'll be able to combine efforts, particularly as as this epidemic wanes, and we can be out and about. I would love to have you come to Harlem Liberation School and maybe share some of your lessons of community organizing, because that's basically what we do: political education, community organizing. You know, we'd love to have something like that. And I know that you said you had about an hour. We're closing in on that hour now, Brother Shabazz. Is there anything that you want to say before you leave this broadcast?
Yeah, I want to say that Black power and Black nationalism is no way a dead doctrine. We have to put the Black Power program to the streets and put the Black Power program in effect. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm looking for others of you to unite with. Okay, we're doing the best we can. So I'm going to give out some information, and I'm going to say, let's keep fighting, because we can win. as an attorney. My website is blackrightsmatter.org, blackrightsmatter.org. And my email is attorney.shabazz@yahoo.com, attorney.shabazz@yahoo.com. Well, on March 21st and on April in Norfolk, on March 21st on Norfolk, and on April 15th in Atlanta, and April 16th Atlanta, April 17th Tallahassee, April 18th in Tampa, I'm doing legal trainings as I walk through the Black community with the Black Power movement. I'm doing legal trainings. I want you to contact me on my email because I want you, brothers and sisters, to attend my legal trainings. In my legal trainings, we teach you how to deal with the police, and we teach organizers how to teach their organizations to handle the police, how to film the police, how to interact with the police, how to put pressure on your police departments, how to run a local anti-police brutality movement, how to know the law in your city. So contact me because this is a legal service that I'm providing. And also to other activists, if you or members of your community or group have been falsely arrested or abused by the police, I, on behalf of Black Lawyers for Justice, I'll take your evidence, I'll take your case, I'll take your incident of what happened, email it to me, and I'll get right back to you. We'll review your video, your evidence, the statements of what happened, and I and my staff are assisting the Black Nationalist movement by being on top of the legal cases for police brutality. That's one. Okay, let's go to number two. Number two is the New Black Panther Party. New Black Panther Party is the political expression of Black nationalism for us. Okay, so you should go to blackpanthermovement.org, blackpanthermovement.org. And that's how you can see what the party is doing, and that's how you can join the party. My name is Malik Shabazz. I'm ensuring that the organization that you will sign in with these days makes sense. BlackPantherMovement.org, under the legacy of Khalid Muhammad and Hashim Nzinga, and my chairman legacy. Okay, so the party is in 30 cities, as I counted last night. It's in 30 cities. And it's scheduled by the end of my national tour in June. We're scheduled to be rooted in 50 cities. We want you to seriously come into the New Black Panther Party. And we want you to know that if you like defense and you like wearing military boots and fatigues and you like arming yourself for self-defense, this group is for you. But we want to say that if you don't like wearing boots and fatigues, and really if guns aren't your thing, but you like Black power and Black nationalism, you're welcome in your dress, your suit and tie, and you're welcome as a Black person. That all of y'all are welcome to work with us and me in the New Black Panther Party, and I'm making sure of that. So we're expanding, and we're doing what? We're recruiting for a Black power movement. We're building this Black power movement and this Black United Front. So I'm here again to say, if you're in a Black organization, just say you in another red, black, and green group. Just say you in another Panther group that you done started over here, started over there. I'm your brother. I still want to talk to you. I still want to unite with you. I still want to roll with you. We want everybody. Seriously, don't take us lightly. We want you to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma on May 28th, 29th, 30th, and the 31st, Friday through Monday, because every Black nationalist and Pan-Africanist organization is converging on Tulsa for a weekend of political and defense activities. And this is going to be historic. And you should make your plans and pack your bags now for the 100-year anniversary, because that's when Malik Shabazz is, and the Black Panthers and every Huey P. Newton Gun Club and Geronimo Platt Gun Club are going to be. Okay, so that's one. Here's another one here, another expression of Black nationalism. This website is called black-empowerment.com. black-empowerment.com. Okay, and at black-empowerment.com is for the New Black Panther Party and us. It's our online trading and marketplace for Black businesses that we're building. It's our online marketplace right now. Right now, there are 1,000 Black businesses in there, and we have an order within the next 30 days. Our grand opening is April 3rd in Washington, D.C. At black-empowerment.com. By April the 3rd, there are going to be 5,000 Black businesses. And we're focusing right now on capturing every Black business in the New York region, the DC region, the Atlanta region, and other Black regions. So this is another expression of Black nationalism. We expect to get stronger here. That's the online buying and trade marketplace. Also, we want you to contact us at black-empowerment.com if you know businesses in the Black community that need to be opposed and they need to be sanctioned. Because the new Black Panther Party and other Black groups are going to be sanctioning, shutting down, boycotting, and otherwise taking our dollars away from exploiters' hands. And when you go to either blackpanthermovement.org or black-empowerment.org under the leadership of Dr. Amy Jenkins, who leads the movement for Black Power, well, then some of you want to get at these Koreans and Chinese and other white people who are exploiting us. Well, that's where you can be involved too. All right, so what I'm saying, brother, is these areas is how you can be involved in what we are doing and what I'm making a contribution to. I want to say that every other leader in the movement, Black nationalists or not, if you're Black, I'm willing to talk to you. If you're Black, I'm willing to try to make some constructive arrangement with you to try to advance the liberation process. Lastly, my schedule is this, and you can find it on these websites. And I'm on Facebook at Malik Zulu Shabazz, and I'm on Instagram at Malik Zulu Shabazz. On March 13th, I'm in Baltimore. Pardon me, on March 13th, I'm in Philadelphia. March 13th, I'm in Philadelphia for a book signing on the Book of Khalid. On March 14th, I'm in Baltimore for a book signing with Reality Speaks in Baltimore. And at both meetings, I'm meeting with Black leaders from the region and cutting a deal to build this united front for Black power. On March 20th, I'm in Norfolk again for a legal training, book signing in Norfolk, and then a massive community walk to combat Black on Black killing and to again train on police brutality and to campaign for the Black Power movement in Norfolk on 320, March 20th, Saturday. On March 21st, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina with the new Black Panthers and the book and the lawyers doing the same thing that Sunday. On April the 3rd, I'm in Washington, D.C. There's a Black Power regional summit for all the leaders in that region on April the 3rd. That's going to be critical. On April the 4th, commemorating the assassination of Martin Luther King, it's an all-out push in the Mid-Atlantic region and in the DMV, District, Maryland, Virginia area for a massive community walk for Black power and to recruit Black youth and to stop the killing and to be legally trained and to support Black business. I mean, we are taking over these streets and to oppose gentrification. It may get a little heavier in DC on 4-4. The highways may get shut down, but we are sick of this gentrification. We are sick of killing each other here, and we are sick of not having Black power. So you can expect some big action here on the April 4th. Fast. I'm getting the principle that it's going to take work and travel across. Let me go fast. April 15th again. April 16th, Atlanta. April 17th in the morning, I'm in Tallahassee, Florida for a book signing and a community walk. At night in Jacksonville, on the same date on the 17th, I'm in Jacksonville for a night walk and a book signing, all the while building a united front with several groups. The next day, Sunday on the 18th, I'm in Tampa, Florida for a book signing and a Black community walk in the morning. And at night, I'm in St. Petersburg for a Black community walk and book signing. Okay, that's April. Then you skip over to May and again, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then it's gonna go on and on. They're putting Los Angeles on the schedule. I got Harlem and Brooklyn to come on the schedule, and a lot of other cities. So if you want to be involved in the national tour, you want to be involved in the new Black Panther Party, you want to be involved in them defense and military trainings or political outreach, take the email, the websites that have been put up. You want to get legally trained, the contacts we put up. And if you want to be a part of answering this question, we're going to answer the question. Black nationalism is not dead because we're going to put the program in effect that will not let it die. It cannot die because you, Brother AJ, and I, and all the others we know, we won't let it die. Now, as leaders, our commitment to each other is we're going to make it make sense better in 2021 together as family. We're going to make it make sense better than ever. And my personal commitment is I'll give all of my time in life to making my contribution to the process of the whole. That's what I got to say as I leave on out.
My brother, we want to thank you, man.
Hold on. Yes.
We want to thank you not just for the time and your energy and insight today, but you are truly a lifelong soldier. And I mean that SOULJAH for Black liberation. You're not new to this. You're true to this. You go back decades, man. And we salute you for that, brother, for staying on that course, because I know personally that is not easy. So we salute you for that, man. And we're going to stay in touch anyway. We're going to be building, right? And we want
I'm
to
here
thank
for you at all times.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, man. And enjoy your day. I want to make sure, the brother said I got 60 good minutes. So I want to make sure, brother, you're able to get on with your day, man. Ashe, brother. Thank you, man.
I want to say the Book of Khaled. If you want to learn what gives me dedication, brother, as much as you hear from me about dedication, I met a man that was so zealous in his dedication that it pales my dedication. So you can go to thebookofkhaled.com and get that book or that electronic version right now. Thebookofkhaled.com, because I'm dedicated because I met a man that was an extreme zealot in terms of dedication. I'm your brother and I love you, and Black Power, man. I'll see you soon.
Black Power, my brother.
Power.
Thank you so much once again. All right, family. We certainly want to thank our good brother, the warrior lawyer, attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, longtime Black liberation soldier involved in the Black liberation movement, for his lifelong dedication, his marathon run. This is not a sprint, but a marathon. And he has been running this marathon for much of his life and actually for all of his adult life. And so we want to definitely salute him, say thank you to him. Family, I'm going to be in touch with the good brother, certainly ongoing, as we build relationship and community capacity. I can't wait till this virus and epidemic has ended, family. You don't know how badly I want to be in these streets, talking with these young lions and lionesses, organizing them, politically educating them, family. That's where it's at today. That is where it's at, in the streets, mixing and mingling with our people, seeing what the critical issues are, getting their input, right? So, family, in any event, definitely want to thank you all for joining. We hope that you got some valuable information. We hope that we helped answer the question. And the question was, is Black nationalism a hope for the 21st century, or is it irrelevant? Is it dead? And I think that Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz knocked it out the park in answering it in the affirmative. Black nationalism provides a hope for our future and for our present if we operationalize, if we practice and internalize and organize around those key principles of Black nationalism: cooperative economics, self-defense, self-determination, and things of that nature. These are principles that are real, family. They're not just words in a book. We can operationalize them and make them work to our advantage. With that said, let's see. There's my Queen Bee. She says, thank you. She said, it's all we got. Sister Siobhan says, thank you for your life of service, brother. Thank you, talking to our brother Malik Zulu Shabazz. I will second that most definitely. Family, you know what I'm going to say. Peace, Black Power, Wukusu, free the land. If we can really internalize what that good brother was kicking to us today and believe in ourselves, get rid of these traitors and informants and work with the people with sincere and authentic family, guess what? 3 words. We will win. Trust and know it, family, but you got to believe it. Peace. Have a beautiful weekend. And once again, shout out to my little homie, turned 16 today, Brianna Reed in the building. Peace.